El Pharaoh's list. He spent day after day hard at work toiling over Otten's case. But something far more urgent demands the prefecture's attention today. The city is in chaos. There was an explosion in the square in front of the city hall. Someone threw a bomb at Magistrate Remy L. Verman's carriage. The assassination attempt failed. The magistrate was not inside the carriage at the time. He was unharmed, although his servants and driver did not fare so well. Even in your office, you can still smell the acrid smoke from the blast. The gendarmes reacted quickly. 5 suspects, craftsmen, and factory workers were brought to the prefecture before sunset. They are accused of joining the Last Straw, a secret society of insurgents seeking to overthrow imperial rule. The society is on its way to becoming the talk of the city. Rumor has it their leader is an enigmatic woman, a tough criminal by the name of Sophia. The 5 suspects deny their involvement, but a number of eyewitnesses saw them walking toward the square, and some of them still have traces of gunpowder on their fingers. Judge Carlo Falkengraben has taken the case. The trial will be mercilessly swift. The 5 are to be hanged tomorrow morning. The sun begins to set. You're about to leave for home when you hear heavy footsteps in the hallway. A stranger enters your office. He is pale, with chiseled features, a furrowed brow, a thick black mustache, and dark eyes, watching you intently from deep within their sockets. He presents you with a gilded pendant in the shape of a wheel. Baron Felipe El Ferro, Secret Chancellery Advisor. Imagine you're well aware of that we deal with plots, schemes, and revolts against the Empire. I have a matter of great importance to the Empire to discuss with you, Sir Brante. I'm aware that the case of the explosion in the square was not assigned to you, but for our purposes this is actually for the best. The Secret Chancellery has been following this so-called Last Straw group for a long time now. They are the greatest threat to peace in Anazote, but you can help us rid the city of this menace. Baron El Ferro produces a neatly folded sheet of paper. This is a list of known insurgents connected to the Last Straw. They haven't blown anyone up just yet, but surely you realize that it would be most imprudent to wait for them to commit their next crime. Time to act is now. You scan the list quickly. Some of the names on it seem somewhat familiar, perhaps from your youth. Find a way, any way to implicate them in today's assassination attempt, and you will prevent more explosions in the future. The Empire will rest easy if we can rid ourselves of this scum as quickly as possible. If you're under the service to the Secret Chancellor, you may rely on my assistance in the future. As you may suspect, I have more than my fair share of powerful connections. Silence falls. The Secret Chancellery Advisor pierces you with his heavy gaze. Let's see, I can't shelter the subjects, nor would I want to. That they are theoretically part of a terrorist organization, so yeah. That would help with family unity, apparently. Well, no matter, I can't do it, because I don't have Glory's secret or manipulation. I could obey. I would get patronage of the powerful. I have been saying that would be useful. Power would go down, career would go up by 2. Justice would fall, though. That's a lot of justice getting destroyed. Unity goes down. I could conduct an investigation. This is possible because I've got wealth and scheming. Power would get lost, career would go up, and justice would go up. Oh, that is something. Wealth would go down, but what is money for if not to be spent? And scheming would go up. I like this. Or protect the people on the list. Career down, justice up. Yeah. Reputation down, unity up, valor up. You know, it's the responsible thing to do. You gave me a list of potential subjects. You know, innocent until proven guilty. That being said, if we've got probable cause, why not conduct a bit of an investigation just to see what's going on? And, you know, if we find something, then maybe we advance further. If not, then we don't. The law at work. You rise from your chair ready to answer the advisor. You cannot fulfill his order until you have legal grounds for arresting and executing these people. You serve the law and you will never break it, no matter what you might stand to gain. You will not falsify a case, and you will not hang people on unproven charges. You are willing to investigate the people from the advisor's list thoroughly and punish the guilty, but only if you find proof that they are involved in the insurgency. Baron El Ferro winces in displeasure at these words. Brant, can't you see we're not dealing with ordinary outlaws here? We're fighting an insurgency that has declared war on the Empire. It's no time for the usual formalities. You have to understand that. Thanks to your indecisiveness, those insurgents will roam free and fashion new bombs for more attacks. Look, if the system is cast aside when things are dire, then you don't have a system in the first place. But you insist. You will not send anyone to the gallows without evidence. Either you do things your way, or the aristocracy will soon be talking about abuse of power at the hands of the secret chancellery. You will see to that. For a while, Felipe considers your words. Very well, Brant. Have it your way. Begin your investigation, but if another bomb goes off in Anazote in the meantime, it will be on your head. And then a promising servant of the Empire will stand trial along with the insurgents as their accomplice. I have a handful of good friends as well, Sir Judge. Felipe leaves without saying goodbye. And so you begin a lengthy investigation. This was your idea, which means you have to pay the gendarmes and informants out of your own pockets. The gendarmes in your employ tail every man and woman from the list for the next fortnight. For a long while, none of your subjects does anything suspicious. Over the course of these 2 weeks, you come to bitterly regret getting involved in this business, but Felipe left you no choice. You will either find the truth or get tired along with the insurgents, or tried along with the insurgents. Baron El Ferrero did not look like a man who makes empty threats. Disappointed with this fruitless surveillance, you are about to called off when one of the commoners suddenly signals to the others to meet. Your raid catches them by surprise in an abandoned house on the edge of the city. Much to your chagrin, the secret chancellery was right. You arrest them just as they are plotting another attack. A map of the city hall on the table. A stockpile of weapons and bombs are found in the house. The litigation is quick. You have all the evidence you need against the insurgents. Every one of them is sentenced to death by hanging. Another last straw cell is no more. Their bodies now dangle in the wind by the still rotting rebels who tried to kill the magistrates. I'm a conspirator. The Rebel. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. The secret plot is developing. A year has passed since Stefan engaged you in his scheme to marry Gloria off, and yet you have had no chance to influence your obstinate sister. Tempers are running high in your household. Gloria disappears for days at a time. She is often seen in the company of young commoners. Father constantly lectures Gloria, telling her that her friends are libertines and troublemakers. Connections like these will be her downfall. Your sister listens obediently, then vanishes again. Tonight, Stefan meets you by the door looking distressed. Brian, I've been waiting for you for quite some time. Let's go to the garden and talk in private. It's about Gloria. You sit on a shady bench. A hot, dry wind is blowing. I was on my way to a ball at the El Laberius mansion. I was already on their doorstep when a servant told me that he had been ordered to turn me away. They will not have anything to do with a family whose offspring is a member of a secret society. I'm certain they meant Gloria, and these are not mere rumors. You know full well that she is entirely capable of such a thing. And here I was wondering where our little rebel spends all her time. We have to act, brother. Any delay, and the damage to our family will be irreparable. We have to make Gloria stop these escapades and get married, by any means necessary. Our secret society represents a tangible threat to our family. Father will see that and side with us, but still I will not accuse Gloria without firm evidence. That would be dishonorable. My hope lies with you, Brian. You are admitted to the right circles, and Gloria still trusts you, though she fears and loathes me. The two of you played together as children so often. You should be able to strike the right tone with her. Find a way to tame Gloria and force her to get married. Remember, we are doing this for the House of Brante, as well as for her own good. The hot wind scorches your face mercilessly. You're lost in thought. Oh, never a good sign when none of the things unlock. Let's see, I can't infiltrate the secret society because I don't have the Path of Blackness. You know, that is fair enough. I can't persuade Gloria to accept her fate because I don't know about Gloria's secrets. Fair enough. Like, I can reject the plan. I'm not sure what those first two things even mean. Or influence Gloria through Mother. And if only I knew of Gloria's secrets. Oh well. Do you think Gloria might be part of the last straw? Like, that'd be real unfortunate. Yeah, well, let's see if we can get Mother on our side. I don't need my sister dying in some rebellion of the commoners. It's a delicate balance of power going on in the Empire, and I'm not sure she fully understands exactly what forces she's dealing with and going up against. We will commence the plan. You find Mother in her chambers. Her health is improving with each passing day. You sit down on the edge of her bed and ask her how she feels. You know, son, as the years go by, our stairs have seemed steeper and steeper. But today, I walked downstairs for lunch all by myself. Gloria and I had a long walk around the garden before she left. Is she back yet? You carefully ask her if she knows where Gloria went. Mother frowns. To the market? Or was it the weaver's shop? I'm not sure. You softly tell Mother that Gloria is in trouble. She's gotten herself involved with some dangerous people, conspirators. She must be rescued as soon as possible. Oh my. Are you certain, son? Could it have gone really that far? Might they not be just fellow poets? They're libertines and they don't observe their lot, but they never take up arms. You insist. There can be no doubt. Gloria has joined a secret society. And before she commits an offense against the authorities, it is your duty to bring her back to safety. Mother agrees with a tired air. You've always taken good care of this family, Brian. And now you're right about this too. I raised her. I taught her. I did my best. Was it all for nothing? What do we do now, son? You tell her about the plan to give Gloria to Sir L. Pelletier in marriage. At first, Mother is incredulous. A nobleman of the sword is willing to marry my illegitimate daughter, Gloria? It's when God's supposed to be watching over her. But you do realize that she'll rebel against it, don't you? It would be so sad for me to give her away to another family. You assure Mother that if she does not get married, Gloria's escapades will ruin not only her own life, but also the Brante family. The same family that gave them both shelter and a life of ease. Mother and Gloria must repay Father's kindness, even if being a nobleman's wife is not exactly what Gloria wishes. Mother's face darkens. Her eyes are suddenly sharp. She speaks clearly and distinctly. My daughter and I will do our duty to the House of Brante. Do not doubt us, son. Mother spends the rest of the day in prayer. When Gloria finally comes home, they have a long conversation upstairs in Mother's chambers. You hear pleading and weeping coming from that room. The next morning, when you are gathered around the table, Gloria rises to her feet. Her face is still red and swollen from a tearful night. Noble sirs, Brante, I, Gloria, lowly daughter of Lady Lydia, hereby consent to become the wife of Sir L. Pelletier, and will no longer impose myself upon you. I am grateful to this house for everything I have received here. I do not want to be a burden any more and tarnish the Brante name. I don't deserve to be among you. Your father's horrified. Mother nods sadly. Stefan jumps to his feet. Gloria! You have mustered the strength to act valiantly. You are dear to our hearts, but we must part ways for the common good. Let us hear nothing more of shame. A family of the highest nobility and a happy husband await you. You will be married to a nobleman of the sword. I will send a letter to Jose L. Pelletier at once. Gloria responds to Stefan with a wry smile. Your sister casts an intense look around the room. Who else was behind the scheme to marry her off? Gloria's eyes fix on you. You hold her stare without flinching. She's been betrothed. She's betrothed to Jose L. Pelletier, a nobleman from an eminent dynasty. Yeah, not great for the unity, but trade-offs. This is actually good. I feel like we've had a lot of things that weren't available to us because we weren't manipulative enough. Gloria's betrothal, 1143. Gloria is promised as a wife to the noble Sir L. Pelletier and will soon leave the House of Brante. Year 1144. The Archduke relents. After many years, the simmering, unceasing hostilities between Overseer Gaius Tempest and Archduke Melanidas have finally come to an end. The Archduke has abandoned all attempts to collect additional taxes from the people. By my grace, I hereby release the common people of Magra from the Archduke's tax. All hail the dynasty of Melanidas, which has protected you since time immemorial. The farmers and merchants can finally heave a sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, the Archduke soon withdrew from all provincial affairs, sequestering himself in his ancestral castle of Serpenverda. The gentry who remained loyal to the Archduke are baffled. Has he accepted defeat at the hands of the Overseer? Or is this just an elaborate ruse? Either way, the Archduke out of the picture, the senior gentry of Magra have lost some of their influence to the Overseer and his retinue of budding dynasties and nobles of the mantle. The feud between the two Archnean rulers has ended, but the noble estate has been split nonetheless. The common people see this as yet another reason to demand change. Okay. Good to finally see some stability. Seventh year of service. Has it really been that long? Wow. Another year of service as a judge is behind you, but you have no time to celebrate. Your days are filled with unremarkable litigation and similar-looking complaints. Again and again you see poorly written complaint forms. They claim that noble landowners are extorting money, punishing commoners for nothing, doing whatever they please. You have noticed a change in tone from pleading to desperate to quietly furious. The low-born lot is to suffer, but how much longer can they endure? Every day, once the petty litigation has been dealt with, you return to Otten's case. Again and again for 2 years now. You search for a way to do the unthinkable. To have an Archnean, and the High Commander at that, convicted for his crimes. You have not heard from Otten since your encounter at the City Hall, but he likely has spies among the judges and gendarmes. Sooner or later, he will realize the true state of your progress, and find a way to get rid of this case. And you, unless you're prepared to strike the first blow. But what should you do? Will you speak against Otten in public and summon him to a trial? Is there any other way to deal with the High Commander? Either way, now is not the time. And so you wait and prepare. Justice for all. As you approach the steps of the prefecture today, a line of Legion soldiers wearing red cloaks bars your path. They are the personal guard of the provincial overseer. Has Gaius Tempest graced you with his august presence? You enter only after presenting your judge's signets to the guards. The common room of the prefecture is remarkably quiet and deserted. All petitioners have been chased away. The judges and gendarmes do not dare to leave their offices. Everyone is afraid to breathe. The overseer, the Emperor's own brother, has arrived, completely unexpected. The guards standing watch say you are expected at the prefect's office. You're escorted upstairs. Elbon is visibly anxious. The honored guest is there, reclining in the prefect's comfortable chair, his crimson fur-trimmed cloak cast over its back, is Overseer Gaius Tempest himself. You bow deeply to the Overseer. He acknowledges your presence with a quick nod and turns back to Elborn. Well, Elborn, I am positively incensed to see what has become of the city under your care. I put you in the seat in still order under Imperial law, but you have given the commoners too many freedoms. And now they are revolting against their lot in the Emperor's rule, plotting, forming secret societies, and now explosion in Amazote? An attempt on the magistrate's life. Even in this city, Everyone in the city is talking about some group called the Last Straw. This is unthinkable. Elborn accepts the blame without any sign of emotion, but you notice the muscles twitch behind the wrinkles on his face. I've ordered the Secret Chancellery to deal with this Last Straw, but their leader, a low-born woman named Sophia, is still at large. Last night I ordered a Legion squad to set up a trap for the Sophia. We almost had her, but then an Archnean appeared and attacked the soldiers. Elborn glances at you confused, an unspoken question in his eyes. Did you hear that, Brante? An Archnean? Defeating a low-born woman? Or defending a low-born woman, but how? Indeed, Prefect. One Anthony Fess, a young Archnean of little note. It seems he now values low-born insurgents more than his high birth, his honor, and his loyalty to the imperial dynasty. Baron Alfero of the Secret Chancellery has been tracking him for quite some time. The young man began mingling with the revolutionary rabble and has since lost his mind. Now he swings his sword about in defense of the rights of the common folk. Let us leave the insurgents to the Secret Chancellery, that is their duty. What concerns me, however, is Anthony Fess. My legionnaires were nipping at the insurgents' heels, and then this Archnean appeared and murdered 5 soldiers. Those poor souls were utterly flummoxed, unsure whether to fight back or humbly accept their death at the hands of an Archnean. The mind boggles, Your Eminence. An Archnean has broken the law for the sake of the common estate. May I assume Your Eminence has a plan for this, Sir Fess? Would that I had even a semblance of a plan. What a sordid predicament. Anthony Fess is a traitor who has committed a great offense against the crown, yet he is an Archnean. I shudder to think what might happen if he were to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This has never happened in all of the province's history. The Archnean dynasties will not tolerate it, and Archduke Melanidas will be swift to take action of the situation and undermine my authority in the province. Your Eminence, the law of the Empire is the same for all of its subjects. Perhaps it would be better to have its power demonstrated once and for all. Sir Fess challenged more than the soldiers of the Legion. He challenged the rule of the Emperor himself. Elborn! What did I just tell you? Prosecuting an Archnean would represent an even greater threat to my authority. Find another way. This Fess is young and hot-tempered, so push him to the breaking point in the courtroom. Get him to draw his sword. Let everyone see him for the dangerous traitor he is. Even for an Archnean, this would be an unforgivable transgression. Not even the Archduke would dispute a verdict against him. Gaius Tempest's gaze focuses on you. You do your best to show no emotion and remain as invisible as possible until the Overseer gives you permission to speak. Judge Brante, you're here for a reason. You will handle the prosecution. I'd rather have Sir Prefect deal with the mess of a case himself, but he is too powerful to risk if it fails. Rest assured, many nobles and Archneans will demand you set him free no matter how much evidence you have against him. The traitor Fess must be punished, but I ask you to ensure that my reputation remains untarnished. I have no intention of going down in history as the Overseer who allowed our inviolable Archnean rights to be compromised. That would be crossing the line. Prepare your case. Gaius Tempest rises from his seat in the blink of an eye and walks out, escorted by his guards. For a few seconds, utter silence fills the prefect's office. Then, at long last, Elborn feels he no longer has to restrain himself. He blames me for what is going on. His most loyal human. No, I will do everything I can to have that criminal punished. Do you realize how much it will advance our cause if we can get that Archnean condemned in a court of law? This is the only way we can instill the rule of law in these lands, Brante. The Overseer insists that the trial be scheduled for tomorrow. Great. Wonderful. Rush the process, thank you. Anthony Fess has been located. He was found and surrounded by gendarmes on the street. However, he did not resist and gave his word of honor to stand trial. You barely have time to prepare the charges before entering the courtroom. The normally half-empty seats in the courtroom are crowded today. The highest ranks of the aristocracy and the most noble families and dynasties all focus their gaze on you as soon as you step inside. In the depths of the courtroom, you notice Octavia Melanidas, surrounded by her retinue of young ladies. The Archduke's daughter watches the trial unfold with a wry, indifferent smile. You ascend to the podium. Prefect Elborn himself presides over the board of judges. The courtroom doors swing open, and the defendant, Anthony Fess, enters. escorted by gendarmes. The young Arcanian is dressed in a defiantly modest garb for his status. No embellishments, no jewelry, just a simple linen undershirt. However, he still carries a sword, as expected from a highborn noble. You read the charges as procedure demands. Sir Anthony Fess willfully caused the lesser deaths of 5 soldiers of the Legion, thereby allowing a number of last-straw insurgents to escape punishments. Murmuring fills the courtroom. The Arcanian's large, dark eyes watch closely, catching every motion in the hall. Then suddenly Anthony Fess interrupts you to speak for himself. People of Anazote, I was not brought here by force today. I broke the law, and I am ready and willing to be held accountable before all of you. I fought those Legion soldiers, and I killed them. Did I violate Imperial law? Yes, I did. Yet, does anyone even bother to count the transgressions committed by our rulers on a daily basis? Why does this law exist if no one follows it? I do not accept a law that offers no salvation from eternal tyranny for the common estate. By my birth, I was given the power to rule over humans, but if suffering is all that rule brings, then I reject it. I am ready and willing to sacrifice my very life for the sake of justice, so that all citizens of the Empire will begin to respect the law. The young Arcanian's words, loud and desperately audacious, spark turmoil in the courtroom. The stunned board of judges is at a loss for words. The gendarmes freeze in confusion, and the nobles are terrified. You hear their screams, "Madman, pull yourself together! You're no commoner, you're an Arcanian!" The courtroom is on the verge of exploding with tension. The gendarmes try in vain to placate the audience. The board of judges looks to you. As the prosecutor, you must continue reading the charges against the defendants. The fate of the rebellious Arcanian is in your hands, but you have what it takes to make the most of this situation. Well, we can't find him guilty, unfortunately. Not that we necessarily want to, since that would bring justice all the way up to 10, which is not quite what we want. So let's not dwell on that. We could provoke him. Some career boosting, a bit of justice, reputation. We'd lose some willpower, get some manipulation, and we die. I'll admit, it's somewhat tempting, but I don't want to lose another life. That doesn't seem great. We can acquit him. A protector of the people. Career goes down, justice goes down, wealth goes up. Augustine would dislike it. Or we can turn to Octavia for aid. Career goes up, justice goes down slightly. Gaius Tempus goes up. You ask Octavia to pardon the... You know what? I think this is a great way for us to, just slide by here without having to cause too much controversy. As passions in the courtroom run high, you look around to find Octavia. Lady Melanidas returns your gaze with a calm, wry smile, elegant as ever. You take advantage of the turmoil to quickly walk over to Octavia and whisper into her ear. You politely ask the Archduke's daughter to save you from the peril of condemning an Arcanian. Your entire future could be ruined by this verdict. Octavia's influence is more than sufficient to make everybody take heed. Very well, my sweet human. After all, is there any point in power if you never abuse it? Octavia rises and proceeds elegantly to the podium, her emerald green dress trailing triumphantly behind her. The courtroom immediately falls silent. Everyone pricks up their ears. Ladies and gentlemen, I must confess, I've grown quite weary of this trial, but as an Arcanian, I feel a duty to save my kinsman from mistreatment of any sort. In the name of the Melanidas dynasty, I hereby pardon Anthony Fess on behalf of the Archduke. May he never again utter rebellious speeches or slay Legion soldiers, lest he part with his sword. The Archduke has forgiven you, Sir Fess. For now, you are free to leave. Octavia nonchalantly returns to her seat. Flabbergasted, Elborn can only announce the end of the trial. The nobles all gasp and shout, gossiping about the deranged act of the Archduke's daughter. Anthony Fess bows stiffly to Octavia and leaves the courtroom. Do you see, Brian? I will spare no expense for you, my human, and I have taken somewhat of a liking to this Anthony Fess. He has no qualms about defying rules of any sort. I can already imagine my father's fury when he hears of my pardon. But what is he going to do? Take me to court? Your chance to set a precedent against an Archnean in court is gone. Anthony Fess roams free now in spite of his outright call for revolt. A letter arrives almost immediately after the trial bearing the Overseer's seal. You steel yourself for the worst, but to your surprise, guys, Tempest is delighted. Splendid work, Judge Brante. I have no idea how you managed to get the Archduke's progeny involved in this case, but the rebellious young Fess is his problem now. I was right to assign a delicate matter of such importance to you. Alborn will be told to promote you as soon as possible. I need more intelligent, reliable men like you at the prefecture. Good. Good. Hey, my career's almost, somewhat decent. Ain't that something? Something that I don't think's ever happened to me before. I'll take it.